Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect. This is episode 17. Today's date is October 8th, 2019, and I am Duds, or Duds versus known everywhere else on the internet.
And I'm Bankaardappel, or Bank for short, and today we're going to talk about, well, stuff.
Yeah, not really Minecraft, is it?
Well, a little bit, but yeah. But before we do, what have you been up to this week? Anything interesting?
I went ahead and threw this in here. Much pain. Pain is the name of the game for me this entire week. So I've dislocated my hip or something. So I set this goal to lose a lot of weight in a year. And I've been doing really good. Like, I lost 20 pounds in 3 weeks.
Nice.
So I was extremely happy with myself, and I was pushing my exercises a little bit too far. And I've always had bad hips. Basically, I remember going in for a physical, like my freshman year of college, because I had to get a physical to try out for the club soccer team. Right. And yeah, the doctor said, when you're 30, your body's going to hate you. Because when I was younger, I used my body as a jungle gym. Just threw it around wherever I could. And sure enough, as a 31-year-old man sitting before you, my body hates me.
I know the feeling.
So work has been gracious enough to have me just sit at my bench and not go around lifting the heavy objects like I normally do, which you would think would be awesome until you realize I sit at a bench on a stool.
Oh, so it's not a comfortable seat.
So I'm sitting there for 8 hours hunched over. So now I have back pain in the middle of my back.
Oh, so it just keeps getting worse.
Right. And I drive a Mustang, so I have to lower myself into the car.
All right.
Which,
so
on a
you
normal
really
day
feel like an old man now.
Yeah, on a normal day, it's not that bad. But now I have a hip that doesn't want to work right, that clicks every time I try to step, and a back that's just throbbing.
Oh, dude, you sound like you're 80 or something.
I know!
That's a horrible week.
It's to the point where I've been contemplating going to the doctor to get just pain relief medicines because I really want to get back into the gym and keep working because I was on such a roll. And it's like, I need something. So if by the end of this week I'm not better, I'm getting some kind of pain meds. I hate taking pain meds, so if I don't have to, I won't.
Well, also, you gotta be careful, I guess, you don't suppress the pain so much that you'll break yourself even more, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So standing and sitting and walking is it sucks.
Yeah, but, so basically you just have to lie down to be comfortable.
No, lying down hurts even worse.
So is there anything you can do, or is it just...
Once I get sat down, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
It's just the motion of standing up, sitting down, and then walking. It literally just lifting the leg to move it forward is what hurts it.
Oh, okay.
Once I'm in position, I'm good. It doesn't hurt.
Rent a wheelchair for another week.
No, well, see, that's the best part. My house, an elderly woman lived here before me, so it's all wheelchair accessible.
Oh, okay. Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Get a wheelchair. You can just sit down, move around.
Yeah, but to move on from the pain, I did start getting back into the swing of things. Did a live stream on Friday. You were there.
Yeah, I was there. It was a fun live stream. It was fun to do it again.
Yeah. Smaller audience, but I kind of figured that was going to happen being gone for almost 2 months.
They were really active, though.
I know. So it made me feel good to coming back that people were like, yay, he's back. And we did a lot of building, which was really cool. We finished an entire section in front of the base, and that's what's driving me to go forward. Like, literally, as we finish this podcast today, I'm hopping on the server and going to start recording some more, so I should have an episode out this week, too. And I know I've promised that before and didn't, but I have nowhere else to go because I can't move, so yay!
You just gotta sit at your chair anyway. Well, hopefully, I mean, the new area, it turned out so well. Hopefully that inspired a lot to get some more done.
Yeah, but that was basically my week. How about you?
Well, beyond the live stream, my week was so dull, kinda, that I almost forget, like, what I did this whole week. I mean, I did work this Thursday, like, actual work, which was kind of cool. I had to teach at a high school who were on camp, or on a holiday. How do you call that? They were on a trip for a week or something. That was pretty cool. Played with Lego robots.
Yes.
But beyond that, I didn't really do much.
You piqued my attention with Legos. I love Legos.
So you get these Lego robots. They're called EV3.
No clue.
They're really expensive, but they're kind of cool. They have like motors and all kinds of sensors, and then you can program them. But you can also control them with your phone. So that's what I did. I made them build like a sort of car and made them race, and then we added like little wooden pokey sticks, which you make like barbecue thingies from, like when you put some meat on a stick and then put it on the barbecue.
Oh,
I don't actually know the name for it.
God, why can't I think of the name? I know exactly what you're talking about.
I feel less ashamed now. That helps.
If it was any point other than right now when the pressure is on, I would know the name of this.
I want to say skewer, but I think that's just the name of the stick.
I think that's just the name of shoving the meat onto the stick.
Oh, I don't know. I guess by this point, people are really confused, or they'll know what I talk about. But we had like little
just yelling out loud right now,
or that. Yeah, we're gonna get Discord comments, I'm sure.
Yeah,
oversized toothpicks. That's what they are.
Jabby sticks.
And so we put those on the robots, and then like a little balloon. And then, I mean, you kind of get a Mario Kart effect, right? You have to pop the balloon, and then so that they really enjoyed that. It was kind of fun to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, sounds awesome.
I got paid as well, which is cool.
That's always a plus. You got to play with Legos and then get paid for it.
Right? I mean, that's not a bad deal.
Not at all.
Yeah, but that was my week. Shall we move on to
the Minecraft?
A little bit of
news,
Minecraft? Yeah.
Which we're gonna have a little bit of Minecraft this week. I can't wait to tell you guys what was happening. Thanks to Bank for doing this. But anyways, Minecraft news, snapshot 19W40A. We're only going to go over two things because Mojang only really did a couple things. They fixed a bunch of bugs. The only bug that I saw that was kind of cool for me was mobs can no longer spawn on jack-o'-lanterns and redstone lamps. Well, they shouldn't have been able to spawn on those anyways, but...
Yeah, I'm confused that happened, but sure.
Yeah. Now they can't. And then also, parrots can now sit on player's shoulder even when their player is riding in a minecart or a boat.
Oh, I saw in our notes, I saw when a player was riding, so I immediately pictured like a horse and then a player sitting on it with a parrot on his shoulder, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't really miss it. I don't use parrots that much, but that's a cool thing to add. But I guess not.
Maybe I got it wrong. I realized when I copied and pasted it over, I probably didn't finish what I...
Maybe the horse thing was already an option.
Maybe. But when the horse jumps or whatever, the parrot's probably going to fly off, right? You would think.
I guess. Yeah, that's how they get off, right? By jumping?
Yeah. Who knows? But some of the things we went over from Minecon Live, or forgot to go over from Minecon Live last time.
Well, we didn't really have the time for it, mostly, I guess. Although,
that's true.
In hindsight, we might have.
I'm just going to mention Minecraft Earth because it was mentioned. I didn't see any kind of new. They posted a video and it was the same old. I'm still not excited to play it. Maybe that's just the skeptic in me, but I think it'll be really fun for about an hour and then not get picked up again. Maybe some other people might have more fun, but I just wanted to bring it up because it was mentioned during Minecon Live, even though it really wasn't anything new.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I am kind of excited, but only for that first hour. I'm just curious how it will be to sort of play in it. I don't think I'll play that much with it, but who knows? Yeah.
Well, to me, it's the whole having to look through your phone at something that's already in front. Like, I got the feeling motion sickness is going to be a huge problem, especially for me, who has to turn view bobbing off in the game because it makes him sick to his stomach.
I just kind of dislike looking at my phone altogether already.
That's true too.
Like the only time I use it is to either send a message, make a phone call, or when I'm on the toilet.
Yeah.
For the rest, I don't really use it.
Good points, all of them. Let's get into Dungeons, because they released a cinematic... Words. They're hard. Cinematic intro. There we go. Nailed it. And it was actually pretty cool. It was nice to see a little bit of a story start developing for Dungeons. It's about the main villain and how he kind of became the main villain. So if you guys are interested in Dungeons, I suggest going and watching it. There's a couple like funny spots in there where they mention this orb that makes you like all powerful, but it's like a block because, you know, it's Minecraft. They don't have circles.
Of course.
But here's the thing. You have XP orbs in the game that are round.
So, which means there might be some kind of leveling system?
Oh, no, I'm talking about in just Minecraft itself. Like, a Minecraft XP orb is round, but yet they called this, like...
Oh, right.
Orb of whatever it was is a block. So it's like... I get it. It's a funny nod, the fact that Minecraft's a blocky game.
Mm-hmm.
But you have round orbs in Minecraft.
Were they the same sort of size as the regular XP orbs?
No.
So they were bigger, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense that they make it a block then.
Yeah. It was pretty funny, and it's definitely worth a watch. I am still excited for Dungeons. It definitely won't be a hardcore playthrough, but it'll definitely be something I pick up multiple times and play with.
I'll definitely try it out. For the rest, I'm really unsure. I'm not sure what I'll think of it.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna wait and see.
Uh-huh.
Well, the next point, I guess. They announced a board game.
Uh-huh.
Which I think is actually kind of cool. Because it was by Ravensburger. Not sure if I pronounce it right.
No clue.
Which I know, like, I used to play a lot of board games and stuff, and I know those guys can make cool games. Although it's a long time ago since I played the game they made, so they might have changed. But it looked kind of fun. They had, like, cards on the table, and they were turning them in turns. So it seemed like you were sort of digging down, layer by layer.
I
don't know. That could be really interesting, but who knows?
Yeah, I watched the trailer, and I was extremely lost. I went, what? I do know you can download the instructions for the game already.
Oh, on like I didn't see that.
There's like a board game junkie or nerd board games or something like that. You have to like sign up for their site, but I think it's a free thing to sign up for. And you can download the instructions for the game so you can know how to play the game before you go buy it, which it would probably be helpful considering people like me watched the trailer and went, why is there a giant spider on the table?
Yeah, it could be interesting to sort of get an idea of how the game works. Yeah. Although I think I might, yeah, I don't know. It's not released yet, is it?
I don't think so. Of course, so I saw somebody. There's a couple unboxing videos on YouTube, so I don't know if those are people who got special access or if maybe it really is already out.
Ooh, I should look into that. I'm definitely curious if it'll be... I mean, I still like board games, so I'm curious if that could be an interesting game to get.
Yeah. See, all my friends are married with babies, so they don't leave their house anymore. So stuff like board games, they don't get played around me.
Right, yeah. Well, I still play with my girlfriend sometimes, board games. There's some that you can play with 2 players.
That's true.
And then I recently started playing Dungeons and Dragons with a couple of people, and they're all sort of finishing students. So that's, they're all single.
Yeah,
so they're into that.
I have a buddy who is starting a YouTube channel playing Dungeons and Dragons. Ooh. And he's basically been using me as a way to get some references. Like, hey, how should I put my camera here? What aspect ratio should I use? Microphone setups, programs, all that kind of stuff. So I've basically been IT help for him.
Nice.
granted, he has figured out a ton on his own, but he keeps trying to get me to play D&D, and I'm just like, not gonna happen. And it's not because I don't like the game. It's like I have only so much creativity in myself. Mm-hmm. So to spend this time creating a D&D character and playing that game, I'd have nothing. And it's like, I'm trying to write a book. I'm trying to play Minecraft. I can't have this other thing. My create fuel will be empty.
They guide you. I mean, I'm no expert by any means. Mm-hmm. I'm still very much a beginner. But they help you a lot with that sort of creative stuff. Like there's the handbook, the player handbook, and that has a guide to do all kinds of things, and they help on how to be creative. It's really not that hard, and it's not really much effort unless you're a dungeon master. I've heard that requires quite a bit of planning and stuff, but obviously you won't be that as a new player.
No.
I hardly have to do anything. I can just show up, play the game, and then go away. Which sounds dull, but it's, I really like it. I would
constantly just sacrifice my character. Let's move the story along. I'm going to go ahead and fall on that grenade or whatever it is. Magic bomb. Sure, I saved everyone else. Let's keep going forward.
Yeah, I mean, you could, I guess.
Well, see, I hear so much about people who get attached to their D&D characters. Because, like, you play with this character for years sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I made a character, and it's like I really like the guy. It's a halfling, so it's a really tiny dude, and he's overly happy. He's a baker as well, so he just likes eating and drinking, basically. I mean, it's sort of me in a different version, I guess.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of fun creating that, but I nearly died last time, and I was smiling. I was like, I don't mind. Like, if that happens, it happens. Because I was already curious. Like, I know the dungeon master, the guy, he's in control. Like, I think he could, like, just pretty much make people not die if he would want to. And I was kind of afraid, like, how nice is he gonna be? But nah, he just straight up almost killed me. I was really lucky not to die, basically, which was cool. And I wouldn't have mind personally, maybe because my character is new, although I really relate to him is a big word, but I like the guy.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think that's sort of the appeal, right?
That's true. I think you're right on that. But that going off topic is going to lead to our main topic discussion. But first, we have to plug our Discord.
We have a Discord. Well, it says we have a Discord now, but we have it a while already. We even got a new brand, or a new channel. A brand new doggy channel for everyone who likes to see pictures. Although everyone is able to post pictures in there now as well. So if you like to post pictures of your dog, feel free to do so. It's a great place to hang out with us and ask questions and give us suggestions on what to do. And we always like to get some feedback. So please join our Discord. And we'll see you there.
Yeah, speaking of comments from our Discord, we do have one for this week. I went ahead and asked if anyone had any questions or comments to put into the podcast today. And C3PO did not fail. She went ahead and asked us, how do you as Minecraft and creators deal with burnout and lacking motivation? I find major update announcement I start to lack motivation to keep playing.
That's very recognizable.
As two people who went an entire month without playing, yes.
I think it's even longer for me at this point. Or at least playing on the Ripple server.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, in any map, you sort of walk into that, right? Especially when a map's long for a while, or when there's not much activity, it gets hard.
Yes.
To keep going. I remember last map, I started creating, because we had the player heads plugin at some point, or not the player heads plugin, but the mob heads plugin thingy. And I started creating and collecting like a museum for that. That sort of helped. I'd say YouTube definitely helps keep motivating. Although, not sure what happened the last few months for me.
Yeah.
But YouTube was a big motivation for me. Like, I would have stopped in a lot of maps way earlier if I wasn't doing YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, I don't know, you're not just creating it for yourself.
Sorry, Omni just sent me messages and it distracted me. Omni distracted the podcast.
I had the same issue.
Yeah, so maybe do what I did. Omni! He keeps dinging me. Anyways, so this past month, I literally just let myself burn out. Omni, I'm going to stab you with a pin, you crazy walrus.
Well, if you heard my keyboard, I responded to Omni to give that some peace and quiet.
All I'm hearing is, do-do. I really need to mute that Discord channel. But, so, I let the candle just burn all the way out. And I think it was for the best. I often tried to push through it, maybe by coming up with a side story that gives me new creative abilities, maybe switch from a medieval design to a modern design, or from a modern design to a Victorian design, stuff like that. So you could always change your building style, and that's one way to do it. Other ideas would be take a short burnout break and play a different game. I know at one point earlier in the year I was playing a ton of Breath of the Wild, which I still haven't beat. You guys need to make me sit down and actually finish that game. I got all the DLC for it, and I'm in the middle of the DLC. So
yeah, and I really like those streams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I won't be playing it myself, so I don't mind watching it either. That sort of gives me still a way to play it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've got it all set up. I can do the stream for it.
Yeah.
I just haven't. I don't know why. I think I was stuck on a hard part of the DLC. So you only have a half a heart. So basically a monster sneezes on you and you die. But at the same time, you have a weapon that's a one-hit kill.
Mm-hmm.
But when you use it, you have to wait 5 minutes before it charges up again.
Wouldn't streaming sort of help you get through that? I mean, it sounds a bit tedious to get through that sort of tedious part.
Yeah, well, that's why I hadn't streamed it, because it was a tedious thing, and I didn't want people to just see me rage over and over again. But the more I think about it, that seems to be what everyone likes to watch me do, is just constantly rage.
That can be funny, yeah.
I don't like raging in front of people, but it seems like that's... Every time I open Golf It, somebody in the chat's just like, yes, he's going to scream and break his mouse.
I just keep laughing that you even care. That's the funniest part to me.
Yeah.
Just swing the thing and see where the ball lands.
And I have determined it is my mouse. So when I'm scrolling around on my screens, I can see it jump.
Okay.
So there is something in my mouse, which stinks because I really like this Logitech mouse. But it's definitely not a good mouse for Golf It.
I sometimes have that, and then there's a little hair in front of the, laser thingies that, on the bottom where the trackball used to be.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
I thought that was it, so I cleaned it up really well, and it still does it.
Any chance there's I don't know if that's even a cause, but could there be grease stains on there from touching it, maybe?
I don't know.
Or maybe your underground is
I used a Q-tip and a rubbing alcohol to clean it.
Oh, yeah, then that shouldn't be an issue.
No. I could probably set up a profile to play Golf It with my controller. But that's so much work for a game I just scream at anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Especially since you have a lot of controller issues anyway.
Yeah. So, tangents and all. Yeah, there's just several different ways to handle burnout, especially when they're an announcement. But 1.15 is such a small update. I don't really feel like oh my god, I can't wait for 1.15. It's kind of like, okay, whatever.
1.13 was a good example of it, though. The build up to 1.13, everybody knew, everybody's maps was gonna reset, because how are you gonna continue that big of a change?
which upset me so bad because I had the perfect base for 113 in 112.
Yeah, I had a really cool base. Yeah, you had the perfect base for 1.13.
Yeah.
Like, that whole island was nice for it, though.
That it really was. If I had to do anything over again, it would be going back to the island and doing more work to finish it.
I still, like, I think I literally only had to, like, 10 minutes, and I would have gotten the special hidden all achievement thingy one with all the effects.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just so burned out that I even couldn't get that done anymore. Yeah,
that's one achievement I've never done.
I literally set it up. Like, if you go to that map,
mm-hmm.
I think if you go to the spot, you can just get it pretty much immediately.
Well, and it's like with every update, it gets harder and harder to do because they keep adding effects.
Yeah, they added a lot of effects since then.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if the dolphin one counts and stuff, but that's
does.
Gonna make things hard. Yeah, that's gonna make things hard.
Yeah, I think Pixel Riff in his Minecraft survival guide has done it in 114, and he said it took a while to get it even set up and ready to go, and then just trying it took him a couple times.
Yeah, because you have, I remember looking into, like, okay, in what order do I gotta get the effects? Because some effects only last for a few seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, he was to the point where he didn't want to use splash potions because there was a chance that it wouldn't hit you perfectly, and it would give you a shortened effect. So he didn't want to take that chance sometimes.
Yeah, I brewed potions so I could drink them, but... Like, as if they could be 8 minutes, I made sure they were 8 minutes, because I needed all that time, basically.
Yeah. There you go. That's how you avoid burnout. Do the extremely hard achievements.
Yeah, do some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Achievements is definitely one. I mean, there's a lot of challenges as well, like people post challenges, like, I'll try and do this.
Yeah.
You could look into those. I've never done many myself. I don't think I've done any myself, but...
I haven't either. I'm always so far behind in building my base that there's always something to work on.
Well, I guess trying a different way of Minecraft, that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been trying, like, speedrunning it. Mm-hmm. I guess that sort of helps. You still keep playing Minecraft. Don't know how much that matters. I don't know. It's just a different way of looking at the game.
Yeah. But I think that's kind of it for the listener comments.
Yeah, so the main topic, I guess.
Yeah. Do you want to announce what we're doing, or should I do it?
Sure, go ahead, because I don't know how to say it politely.
Okay. So, we've been talking about this for a while. We've been wanting to do a secondary podcast that really has nothing to do with this podcast. And we've gotten a few feedback saying, yeah, do it and everything like that. Well, this week it just so happened that we didn't really have a good topic that we wanted to talk about. We have a couple topics, but we feel that they would be better for a later date. So this week we're kind of going to try out the secondary podcast a little bit, where we just kind of talk about pop culture or just anything else that's kind of happened in our lives. That's why we've kind of been okay going off on a tangent leading up to this point. It's like, because it's a preview of what this other podcast could be, and it's kind of a great time to at least try it out. I promise if you guys don't like it, we won't do it again on the Withering Effect, but we wanted to give you guys a first-hand experience of, this is us talking about random stuff.
Obviously, we wouldn't do it for an hour either. If
we planned on like maybe a 30 to 45 minute podcast.
Yeah, just talk about, well, random stuff, really.
Yeah, like you had said you had watched some movies this week. What'd you watch?
I actually did watch a movie, and I was kind of excited for it. It was Escape Plan 3.
Never heard of it.
So, you haven't? Okay, so Escape Plan, all three of them, they're by Sylvester Stallone.
Okay.
He's, I'm gonna explain this so badly, probably, but he's kind of he breaks out of prisons for a living to sort of show flaws and stuff in the security systems. And then obviously there's some really shady people who have like background unknown prisons, like, you know. And then he sort of gets trapped in those, and he's not in a safe environment anymore. Like, they basically actually trap the dude because they don't like him for some reason. Probably because he costs money or something. And then... Yeah. So, the prisons he gets into are really cool. Like, they're actually... It's like, ooh, how do you get out of that? That's kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. The third one was kind of the big disappointment to me, though. I won't spoil anything of it, but... It definitely wasn't similar to the first two. Like, the story continued for sure.
Yeah.
It was a different kind of movie.
Yeah, I could see where making a movie about breaking out of a prison multiple times could get a little hard. Like, I was gonna say, it sounds like Prison Break, the TV show. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't.
If you want to watch it,
they weren't normal prisons though. Like, they were really like. They like being in glass boxes. Obviously, human rights were all off the table. I really was like, how on earth would you escape from there? Like, there's no way. And then they obviously, well, it's Sylvester Stallone, so Crazy Plans is gonna come up, obviously.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot of violence, and action and stuff. But yeah, I kind of like the first two, although even I'm not really into those action movies usually. Yeah, it was fun. Although not the last one. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. No, I actually watched 2 movies this week.
Okay.
I'll talk about the one I actually really liked. It was Chris Evans' directorial debut with Before We Go. I may have mentioned this to you before.
Yeah, you mentioned before we go to me. I actually wrote that down.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Didn't watch it yet.
It's advertised as a romance movie, but it's really not. I don't want to say too much without giving it away, but it's a very nice, chill, just pleasant movie. It doesn't fall into a genre critique or anything like that. And I really liked his camera work. That's what really kind of hit it off for me. I think Chris Evans and Alice Eve are great actors in their own right. But the camera angles and the scenery, because it takes place in New York City at night, was just beautiful to watch. So I really liked that movie. And the fact that I was like, oh great, it's just a random romance movie and I'm too lazy to change the channel, whatever. And then I got hooked on it and I was like, well, this is actually a pretty good story with 2 great actors and great scenery. And yeah, I really enjoyed myself.
That's really cool. Although the shame is that sort of in the middle of there, something happened with connection stuff.
Yeah, you've been going in and out too. I've just been hoping that Audacity is still working.
I guess. I mean, it went fine. What was it? That's been a few weeks already that happened.
Yeah. Well, we forgot to actually get in a chat room too. We're still just in a call. And it seems like when we're in a call, it struggles a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I recommend Before We Go.
I mean, it helps that you already sort of recommended it earlier to me this week.
Yeah.
So I already had a little explanation of it. What was the other movie you watched? Or did you talk about that as well?
No, this one was Legend of Tarzan. I watched it like literally at midnight last night.
Is that like a newer version of it?
It is a newer version. It stars Margot Robbie and Alexander Skarsgård. His last name is really hard to pronounce, but it was. I won't say I didn't like it because I did like it. Mm-hmm. But it kind of left a little bit to be desired. It's definitely you need to watch a guy punch a gorilla in the face. Guess what? He's your guy, and he played the role of Tarzan very well. But the CG was just a little bit lacking, so you could tell when it was a real person and when it wasn't.
Ooh.
Right, which is kind of my big... you get so used to like the Marvel Cinematic Universe that just throws money at CG guys and make it as close to perfect as possible. And then like you go to that. Of course, this movie's a couple years old, so that could also be part of it.
Yeah.
But decent story. It's got, what's his name? Christopher Waltz, I think his name, playing the bad guy. And he's a great actor, too.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's great.
It was actually fun, but that's kind of all it was.
I was actually curious. How did they do the animals? Were they like real animals? I'm gonna guess they were CG.
Oh, they all had to be CG. Because like he's going up and like rubbing his head on a lion.
Oh, okay. I mean,
yeah, you could tell all the gorillas were CG for sure because the hair follicles did not look right at all.
So I'm not sure if you've seen Mowgli. I haven't seen it, but I've seen parts of it. Mm-hmm. That was like the animals looked quite good to me, I have to say, but you could see really clear that they were like CGI.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. So you don't know if it would be similar or not.
Yeah. Well, see, I have a rule that I normally don't watch stuff where I know it's going to have a ton of CG animals in it because it's just so hard to do correctly.
I agree.
That's one of the reasons I like the older Star Wars movies, because when they do the aliens and stuff, you can tell it's physical prosthesis and costumes, and you can't really digitalize it.
Yeah, that's why I like some animation movies really well, because they use like the technology and make the really cool stuff, but it's within like the same place. Like everything is that style, so it matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Legend of Tarzan. I didn't even know they how many versions of that are there now?
I don't know. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad, not worth watching, but it wasn't my exact cup of tea. Granted, I'm an MCU nut and I watch all the Marvel movies as it is. Mm-hmm. But to me, when you watch 23 of them, you start to find like hidden storylines that I think are really cool. Kind of like, you haven't watched a lot of the MCU stuff, have you? I want to say we talked about this.
No, I haven't. I did watch Deadpool, although I'm not sure which brand site, whatever it's part of.
Not MCU. Well, he wasn't. He probably is now. Like, I have a feeling they're going to bring him into the MCU, but
all right,
his first 2 movies weren't.
And then I liked Green Lantern. I mean, it's mostly the actor, right? I like his humor. That helps. For the rest, well, like I said earlier, I'm not that big on... Like, action doesn't sell for me. Just like,
right.
I didn't like John Wick that much.
What?
For example. It's like, what? He's just...
Gung fu, man. Gun fu.
I mean, it was alright, but... I was really disappointed by the end, mostly. Like...
Just so the first one?
Yeah. I mean, he hunts this guy. The whole movie is about getting revenge on that one guy. And then he like, kills everyone in every possible cool way. And then the last guy, he just kind of shoots in the face. It's like, dude, that should have been the coolest kill of all. And you made it the most boring one.
Well, he did go hand-to-hand combat with his dad. Or whatever. Of course, then that's where the movie kind of hurt me a little bit, because I go, all right, one, I understand Keanu Reeves is not a young sprout anymore, but that guy is really old compared to Keanu Reeves and should easily just pick that guy up and throw him off the cliff.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I have the same with like Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, the guy is well in his 70s. It's like, you don't beat down a guy in his 30s. Like, no.
Yeah, John Wick, when I watched it, I really liked it, and my biggest complaint coming out of it was the story's weak, but the action was great and the character was great. So I was like, when they come out with the second one, or if they come out with the second, as long as they upgrade the story, it'll be a win in my book. And they did that. They sunk everything they had basically into the lore of that movie. So I got extremely excited. I really liked it. The action didn't feel as good as it did in the first one. And maybe that's because they were doing bigger set pieces. But all around, it was an upgraded movie for me. And then the third one came out. And
yeah, that's not even too long ago, is it?
No, I think it came out this summer. And it disappointed me more than anything. Holy cow. And I loved those movies. I was sitting there. To me, the story felt like it took a huge downgrade. And it just kind of became, how can we get from one action set piece to the next action set piece? And how can we make that action set piece bigger than the last one? Basically what Fast and the Furious has been doing for like the last 9 movies. And it's like...
Yeah, they kind of lost me, I think at like the 4th or something as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that they're fun movies and all, but I don't know. At some point, I've just seen enough of it, I guess.
Yeah. So, yeah, if I were to put the first John Wick at a 7.5 out of 10, I would put the second one at like an 8.9 out of 10, and then I would put the third one at like a 6.0 out of 10.
No.
That's kind of how it
felt.
Why
are you breaking up now?
Oh, you didn't hear what I rated it as?
Literally, like, I heard the first one, and then I was really interested for the second one, because I was like, oh, I might actually watch that, and I didn't hear your number. I just heard nothing out of 10. I was like, no.
So the third one, I said 6.0 out of 10.
Okay, and the second one?
8.9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give it a go, I guess. Sure, why not?
Yeah. It's definitely worth it if you have nothing else to do.
Yeah, you said the story was better, right?
Yes.
Or at least, yeah, so that should be appealing to me, I guess.
The really bright spots to me out of the third one was Halle Berry. I was worried about her coming into it, but she held her own. It was very good. I enjoyed her parts a lot. But other than that, there really wasn't much I liked out of the third one.
Okay, I mean, yeah. It's always hard, right? Don't third movies always kind of...
Yeah, kind of.
At least I don't think there's many third movies that do really well.
No. You guys let us know. What's a trilogy or whatever that ended better on the third movie than it did the first two? Because I can't really think of one. I can name several movies where the second one was better, but not the third.
I think Indiana Jones, but
oh yeah,
I like them all equally, I guess.
Even Temple I'm not sure. Doom?
I mean, it's not. That's the first one, isn't it?
That's the second one. Raiders of the Lost Ark is the first one.
Oh, and then the Quest for the Holy Grail is the third one.
Yes.
Oh, then I actually do like the third one the most.
Yeah, there you go. Sean Connery. That's what did it for you.
It might actually be the case. I also really like that whole tomb, the end part where he goes through that whole trapdoor course basically. I really like that. I think that's a cool. Well, the whole temple is kind of cool, but also that part where he goes through and with his book and stuff. I like that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Although when I was a child, I was really young when I watched them first. And I always jumped behind the couch when the dude sort of went old, if you know what I mean, when he drank from the wrong cup. I always crawled behind the couch, and then I made my brothers tell me when it was over. That freaked me out so much.
Well, yeah, I had the same thing. So I'm watching Raiders of the Lost Ark with my Aunt Bev and cousin Kelly, and was just after they introduced me to Star Wars, so I was like on a high.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're like, here. If you like Star Wars, you're going to love Raiders of the Lost Ark. So I said, okay. And they're like, so Han Solo's in this one. He plays Indiana Jones. I went, awesome. And then you got the first scene where the boulder and everything. And I'm just like, woo! Little kid jumping up and down. Heck yeah. And then you get to the end where like the faces melt. And I'm just sitting there mouth agape, crying my eyes out, going, what the heck just happened?
I can't even remember the first times I saw it. I just grew up with like Indiana Jones and Star Wars. Like,
yeah.
As far as I know, those were like the 6 VHS tapes we had.
Yeah, everyone has seen those, and if you haven't, you better.
I mean, I'm not gonna say people have to watch it, but I'm glad I grew up then and had to watch those movies all the time. That was awesome.
Yeah, if you have to watch one Indiana Jones, it's got to be Raiders of the Lost Ark. And if you watch one Star Wars, it's got to be Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh, with Star Wars, I definitely got all those 3 episodes mixed into each other. Mm-hmm. It's been a long time since I actually watched those. I should watch them again.
Yeah, me and my sister usually do.
I think we had this conversation last. Oh.
Yeah, my sister and I usually do like a marathon of them, like once every other year or something like that. I think we lost Bank. Bank! He may be talking and I just can't hear him because of Discord.
Right.
Hey, there you are.
Yeah, it's not doing well. Should we switch to... I don't know. This is a long one.
You're like cutting out so bad on my end.
Is it getting fixed now?
Barely.
It's having trouble today.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're at a point where we might want to go ahead and end it before it gets too much worse.
Exactly. Now it's still manageable.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of editing, but do you want to go ahead and sign us out so I can get started on this so Carl doesn't have to worry about too much of it?
Yeah, we'll get out of here. If you like the show, as always, share it with your friends and social media. Leave us a rating and a review. That really helps us reach more listeners. If you'd like to get into contact with the show, send an email to podcast@rippleeffectsmp.com. Tweet us, or always the best thing, join our Discord and have a chat with us. It's an easy way to get into contact. Links will be in the show notes.
Yeah, this show has been brought to you by Bank and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show does not end up in a pile of pop culture on your floor. Man words. The amazing music you heard in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Both their social media links can be found in the description. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. Go drink some milk.
See ya later.
Bye.